Good morning, all of you. In the last class, we have discussed about the concrete. What are the advantages and disadvantages of concrete? And today, we will discuss about the next topic, that is cement. So, all of you know that cement is one of the most important building material, and there are varieties of cement available in the market, and each type is generally used for certain condition, under particular condition. So when the mixture of when cement, sand and water is added to form a paste, that is known as cement mortar. Whereas when cement is mixed with sand, coarse aggregate and water, then that is known as your concrete. So this concrete has two parts. One is active group, second one is inactive group. So this active and inactive, the active group generally consists of cement and water, because when water is added to cement, they will form a reaction, chemical reaction. So these two are considered as active group, whereas the fine aggregate and coarse aggregate are considered as inactive group. So the cement is having two important functions. So first one is it will bind the sand and coarse aggregate together, and that means fine and coarse aggregate together. And second function is it will fill the voids which is present in between sand and coarse aggregate particles, and it will form a compact mass. So next, generally the commonly used cement is Portland cement. So Portland cement is obtained by burning together two materials, that is, one is argillaceous material which contain alumina, and second one is calcareous material which contain calcium carbonate or lime, and they are burnt at a temperature of about 1450 degrees Celsius. Then the product obtained from this burning is called clinker, and when this clinker is cooled and ground to the required degree of fineness, it will produce a material which is known as cement. Then we will discuss about the ingredients of cement. So the first ingredient is, the most important ingredient is lime. So lime is, if it is present in excess, it will make the cement unsound. So these are the ingredients, and these are the percentage of these ingredients which is present in cement. So lime is generally present in the percentage of lime is about 62%. So when the lime is in excess, it will make the cement unsound. So then it will cause the cement to expand, and finally it will disintegrate. On the other hand, if the lime is present is in deficiency, then strength of the cement is decreased. The second one is silica. Silica is present. Silica will impart strength to the cement. So if silica is present in excess quantity, the strength of the cement increases, but at the same time its setting time is prolonged. That means the setting time will increase. Third one is alumina. So alumina impart quick setting property to cement. So if alumina, so it should not be present in excess, otherwise it will weaken the cement. Fourth one is calcium sulfate. So calcium sulfate is generally present in form of gypsum. So gypsum, the function of gypsum is to increase the initial setting time of cement. Next one is iron oxide. Iron oxide imparts color, hardness and strength to the cement. Next is magnesia. So magnesia, if present in small amount, it will impart hardness and color to the cement. Next is sulfur. So a very small amount of sulfur is useful for making sound cement. If it is in excess, then it will make the cement unsound. Last one is alkalis. So if alkalis are in excess, then they will cause a number of troubles, such as they will cause alkali aggregate reaction. That means alkali of cement will react with aggregate, coarse aggregate, and it may cause efflorescence and staining when used in concrete or brickwork. So these are the ingredients of cement. So when water is added to cement, the ingredients of cement react chemically with water. Those ingredients that we have just discussed, they will react chemically with water and they will form various complicated chemical compounds. Okay, so different compounds are formed during setting action of cement, that are tricalcium aluminate, tetracalcium aluminoferrite, tricalcium silicate and dicalcium silicate. So these are the compound products. First one is tricalcium aluminate. So this tricalcium aluminate is represented as C3A. So this compound is formed within 24 hours after addition of water to the cement. These two, one is tricalcium aluminate and second one is tetracalcium aluminoferrite. This one also formed within 24 hours of addition of water to the cement. So this tricalcium aluminate is represented as C3A and tetracalcium aluminoferrite is represented as C4AF. So these two compounds are formed within 24 hours after addition of water to the cement. Then third one, which is formed after these two, is tricalcium silicate, which is represented as C3S. So this compound is formed within a week, approximately within a week, and this compound is mainly responsible for imparting strength to the cement in early period of setting. Clear? So this compound, which is C3S, is responsible for imparting strength to the cement in early period of setting. Last one is dicalcium silicate, which is represented as C2S, and this compound is formed very slowly, and hence this one is responsible for giving progressive strength to the cement. Okay. So during the initial period of hardening, the gain in strength of C2S during initial period, the gain in strength of C2S is small. Okay, and after 28 days, the hydration of C3S is practically comes to an end, and hydration of C2S will begin. Therefore, when a high strength concrete is required within a short period of time, remember this, when a high strength concrete is required within a short period of time, then the cement is made with a high content of which compound? C3S compound, because this one is responsible for giving giving strength to concrete in its early period. Therefore, when it is required, when high strength concrete is required within a short period of time, then the cement is made with a high content of C3S. And if a high strength concrete is required at a later stage, then the cement is made with a high content of which compound? C2S compound, because high strength concrete is required at a later stage. So the cement is made with a high content of C2S. Okay. And the C3A, this property, the property of C3A is generally utilized or used for producing quick hardening Portland cement, because it will form shortly, and so when it is required to form a quick hardening Portland cement, then the cement is made with high content of C3A. So these are the properties of the complex compounds of cement. Next we will discuss about the hydration. So now we will discuss about hydration of cement and heat of hydration. The anhydrous cement does not bind fine and coarse aggregate. So cement in its dry condition will not show adhesive property. So when water react with cement, then a chemical reaction takes place which is known as hydration of cement. So due to this hydration process, sufficient heat will develop, and that liberation of heat due to the hydration process is known as heat of hydration. So this is all about for today's class. In the next class we will discuss about the relationship between water cement ratio and compressive strength, and also the physical properties of cement. Thank you.